ശ്രീ ഗണേശായ നമഃ. ശ്രീ സരസ്വത്यै നമഃ. ശ്രീ സദ്ഗുരുഭ്യോ നമഃ. സമസ്തജനകല്യാണേ നിരതം കരുണാമയം നമാമി ചിന്മയം ദേവം സദ്ഗുരും ബ്രഹ്മവിദ്വരം. മനോജവം മാരുതതുല്യവേഗം ജിതേന്ദ്രിയം ബുദ്ധിമതാം വരിഷ്ഠം. വാതാത്മജം വാനരയൂതമുഖ്യം ശ്രീരാമദൂതം ശിരസാ നമാമി. സന്തോഷിണീ ജഗന്മാതാ മമ സൗഭാഗ്യവൃദ്ധയേ. നമസ്കരോമി ഭക്ത്യാ ത്വാം പ്രസന്നാ വരദാ ഭവ. ശങ്കരം ശങ്കരാചാര്യം കേശവം ബാദരായണം സൂത്രഭാഷ്യകൃതൗ വന്ദേ ഭഗവന്തൗ പുനഃ പുനഃ. ഓം നമഃ പ്രണവാർത്ഥായ ശുദ്ധജ്ഞാനൈകമൂർത്തയേ നിർമ്മലായ പ്രശാന്തായ ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. സച്ചിദാനന്ദരൂപായ വിശ്വോത്പത്യാദിഹേതവേ താപത്രയ വിനാശായ ശ്രീകൃഷ്ണായ വയം നമഃ. നീലാംബുജശ്യാമള കോമളാംഗം സീതാസമാരോപിത വാമഭാഗം പാണൗ മഹാസായക ചാരുചാപം നമാമി രാമം രഘുവംശനാഥം. ജന്മാദ്യസ്യ യതോന്വയാതിതരതശ്ചാർത്തേഷ്വഭിഘ്നസ്വരാട് തേനേ ബ്രഹ്മഹൃദായ ആദികവയേ മുഹ്യന്തി യത്സൂരയഃ. തേജോ വാരിമൃതാം യഥാ വിനിമയോ യത്ര ത്രിസർഗോ മൃഷാ. ധാംനാ സ്വേന സദാ നിരസ്തകുഹകം സത്യം പരം ധീമഹി. ധർമ്മപ്രോജ്ജിതകൈതവോത്രപരമോ നിർമത്സരാണാം സതാം. വേദ്യം വാസ്തവമത്ര വസ്തു ശിവദം താപത്രയോന്മൂലനം. ശ്രീമദ്ഭാഗവതേ മഹാമുനികൃതേ കിം വാ പരൈരീശ്വരഃ. സദ്യോ ഹൃദ്യവരുധ്യതേऽത്ര ഹൃദിഭിः ശുശ്രൂഷുഭിः തക്ഷണാത്. നിഗമകൽപതരോർഗളിതം ഫലം സുഖമുഖാദമൃതദ്രവസംയുതം. പിബത ഭാഗവതം രസമാലയം മുഹുരഹോ രസികാ ഭുവി ബാഹുകാഃ. യം പ്രവ്രജന്തമനുപേതമപേതകൃത്യം ദ്വൈപായനോ വിരഹകാതര ആജുഹാവ. പുത്രേതി തന്മയതയാ തരവോഭിനേദുഃ തം സർവഭൂതഹൃദയം മുനിമാനതോസ്മി. യസ്വാനുഭാവമഖിലശ്രുതിസാരമേകം ആധ്യാത്മദീപമതിതിതിർഷതാം തമോന്ധം. സംസാരിണാം കരുണയാഃ പുരാണഗുഹ്യം തം വ്യാസസൂനുമുപയാമി ഗുരും മുനീനാം. നാരായണം നമസ്കൃത്യ നരം ചൈവ നരോത്തമം ദേവീം സരസ്വതിം വ്യാസം തതോ ജയമുദീരയേത്. So we are on the Navamodhyaya in the 6th canto. So we saw Devendra insulted Brihaspati, not receiving him properly or getting up in the Devasabha when he appeared. So Brihaspati disappeared and Devendra could not find him. Then, as advised by Brahmaji, they approached Vishwarupa, who was the son of Twashta. Twashta we have seen earlier. Daksha's 4 daughters were married to him, Twashta. Now, this Vishwarupa gave Indra Devata Narayana Kavacham, and are protected by Narayana Kavacham, he was able to win over the Asuras and again regain his kingdom. Now one day when he saw Vishwarupa had 3 heads. Now that is what that story we have to see now. What happened? Sri Shuka Uvacha Tasyasan Vishwarupasya Shiramsi Traini Bharata Somapitham Surapitham Annada Iti Shushruma. We have Shukamanshi says, we have heard that this Vishwarupa had 3 heads. Through each of his, he consumed each of the 3. What are they? Somarasa. Then another mouth, liquor. Third mouth, food. Annadam, Surabhi, Surapitham, Annadam. So Annam. So food. So these are the 3 heads. Now, Savai Barhirshidevebhyo Bhagam Pratyakshamuchagaihi Avadat Yasya Pitaraha Devasam Saprashrayam Nripa. O Nripa, O King, Vishwarupa, whose father was a Deva, Twashta, always made offering to Devas with humility and loud utterance of mantra. Sayeva hidado bhagam paroksham prati ejamano vahat bhagam madrisneha vashanugaha. But drawn by affection for his mother, who came from the Asura side, means she was a Asura girl. So, with one mouth, he secretly gave part of the offering to Asuras. Whenever he was offering to Devas, along with one mouth he was giving, chanting mantras, giving to Deva. Another mouth he chanting the same mantras, giving to Asuras also. Tat Devaleha Helanam Tasya Dharmalikam Sureshwaraha Alakshatarasa Bhita Tachishrashnachinat Rusha. And what happened? Indra saw this. When he saw this unrighteous deception practiced on the celestial, and in great anger, he cut off Vishwarupa's head. Somapitham duyattasya shira asit kapinjala kalavingasurabhidam annadam yassatitirihi. The head that drank the soma juice became kaminjala. Kaminjala means a black, what is that? Chicken. Kaminjala. That which took liquor became Kalavinga, sparrow. And that which consumed food became Tittiri Pakshi. Taittiriya Upanishad, we saw that, Tittiri Pakshi. Now what happened? Brahmahatya manjalina jagraha yatabishwaraha samvatsarante tavakham bhutanam savishuddhaye bhumyam buddrupayoshitbhya chaturdha vibhajat hari. So by this act of Indra, he incurred the papa of Brahmakatya papa, the sin of killing Brahmana, Brahmahatya papa, a killing of a holy man. Now, 1 year it followed him. At the end of the year, he thought we had to do something. So what he did was he transferred and he partitioned the sin among the 4. Who are they? Earth, water, trees, and women. Bhumisturiyam jagraha khatapuravarena vai irinam brahmahatyaya rupam bhumo pratishyate. Now don't look at me, this is it's written here, what can I say? 1/4 portion of it was accepted by the earth. Now what is in return? For the boon that any pit dug on the ground will be naturally filled up. That is the return. Earth got this particular boon. The deserts seen on the surface of the earth are the effect of the sin inherited by the earth. But that sin is good, desert is good. Now that is where the oil is, isn't it? So it's a blessing. But in such desert region, the study of the Veda, performance of sacrifices are prohibited. Yeah. Sahara, you cannot do any rituals there. Then, Turyam cheda virohena varena juhurdruma tesham niryasa rupena brahmahatya pratishyate. The trees accepted another 4th portion of the sin for the boon that their branches will grow again even if it is clipped. What is seen as, when the branch is cut, a liquid oozes out, isn't it? That is considered the Brahmahatya Papam. Yeah. Shashvatkamavareenam hasturiyam jagruhustriya rajo rupena tam swaho masi pratishyate. Women received the 3rd quarter of the sin, accepting as boon that there will be no obstruction to their love life, even in pregnancy. That sin expresses in them through the monthly menstrual flow. That is the sin. Now, Shashvatkamavareenam. No, that's we saw that. Then, Dravyabhuyo varenapa turiyam jagrhurmalam tasu budbuda felabhyam drishtam tattvaridhikshipan. Water received the remaining 4th of the sin, though The boon is what, in addition to anything, will swell its bulk. So if you water you fill, it will come. So the bubble and form is considered the sin. I mean the Brahmahatya Papa. So people take water only after removing the dirty portion. After that represents the sin. Now that is okay. Now what happened? So Vishwarupa, Brahmahatya Bhabam he distributed. Now in the meantime what happened? Tvashta, who was the father of Vishwarupa, he got angry. Hataputrastatvashta juhavendreya shatrave indrashatro vivardhasva machiram jahi vidvisham. Now Tvashta, the father of the slaughtered Vishwarupa, was grief-stricken by the death of his son. And he began a sacrificial rite in order to produce a son powerful enough to kill Indra. O enemy of Indra, Indrashatro vivardhasva. O enemy of Indra, grow into mighty proportion and slay the enemy soon. Ma chiram jahi vidvisham. But he made a mistake in pronouncing. That is why instead of the son killing, Tvashta's son killing Indra, he was killed by Indra. That's why Vedic mantras you have to properly pronounce. Otherwise, this particular statement is always quoted by all the Vedikas. They say that we should pronounce properly. Athanvaharya pachanat ustitot koradarshanah kritanna iva lokanam sugandha samaye yatha. Wow. Thereupon from the sacrificial fire, known as the Chinagni, a terrific being came out, like the all-consuming form of death, appearing the time of total destruction of Pralaya. Now he started growing. Vishvakvikvardhamanam tamishu matram dine dine dakta shaila pratikasham sandhyabhraniga varchasam saptatamra shikhasmashrum madhyannakogralojanam. Every day he started growing up in equal dimension like a bow. His complexion was black. Fire mingled with the glow of a cloud at sunset. The hair on his head and his face looks like heated copper, while his fierce eyes resembled midday sun. And he started dancing with rows of earth-shaking treads, holding an uplifted trident, as if he were lifting up heaven and earth. Everyone fled away, seeing this. Now, Yena vrita ime logat tamasa tvashtramurtina 18th one. Savai vritra iti proktaha papa paramadarunaha. That extremely cruel and sinful being came to be known as Avritra, Vritrasura, because he, the offspring of Toshta's mantra, was the very embodiment of tamas, covering the world with the darkness emanating from him. Tam nijagnuramidrutya sagana vibhudarshabha svai sve divyastra shastraikai astrokai soprasat tani krishnasaha. Krishnasaha. On seeing him, Devas with all their following rushed at him and struck him with their divine weapons. But Vritra swallowed up all those weapons. Tataste vismita sarve vishanna grasta tejasaha pratyushamadi purusham upatastyus samahitaha. Whenever devatas fail in their attempt, they immediately go to Bhagavan Vishnu. That is the beauty of devatas. But asuras, even if they are failure, they don't go to Bhagavan. That is the difference. But here they immediately went to Bhagavan. They became prey to Supreme Being, Bhagavan. Now Deva Uchuhu, the prayer is there. This prayer is very beautiful. Vayambaraknya Kshitiyastriloka Brahmadayo ye Vayamuttijanda Haramatasmai Balimantakoso Vibhedi Yasmat Haranam Tato Naha. Time which swallows everything is the dread of us all. The five elements like air, fire, sky, water, earth, the whole world formed by their combination. In him who is the dread even of that time, we seek refuge. Like that, there is a prayer. Now, what happened? Bhagavan appeared. As the Devas recited their hymn, so iditesham maharaja suranam upadishtatam pratichyam dishyabhudabhi shankachakra. Sri Shuka says, 28th verse. As the Devas recited their hymn, Bhagavan appeared there, sporting with his conch and discus in hand, manifested. Now seeing Bhagavan, Deva again praised. Namaste yajna viryaya vayase utate namaha. Namaste hastachakraya nama suburu huyat hutaye. These prayers, you have to memorize and keep it. Suppose you happen to see Bhagavan, you don't know what to say. So these are all, these will come in handy. Because I used to, when I used to meditate, started meditating, that time I used to think, suppose Bhagavan appeared, what should I ask? So the whole meditation was on that, what to ask. Suppose he gives me only 1 minute, and in one breath you have to ask everything. Suppose he gives me a condition, then what should I ask? So all this was going on. To such people, Bhagavan will come or no, will not come. So here it is all in prose order. The prayer here. They are all very beautiful, poetic. Om Namaste Tu Bhagavan Narayana Vasudevadi Purusha Mahapurusha Mahanubhava Parama Mangala Parama Kalyana Paramakarunika Kevala Jagadadhara Lokaikanatha Sarveshwara Lakshminatha Paramahamsa Parivrajikaihi Paramenat Atma Yogam Adhika Paribhavita Parisputa Paramahamsasya Dharmenat Khadita Tama Kapata Dware Chitte Krita Atmaloke Swayam Upalabdha Nija Mukhanubhave Bhavo Bhavan. Wow, look at this. What all adjectives. Glory is of Bhagavan. So, salutation to thee, Bhagavan, Narayana, the indweller of all, Vasudeva, the support of all, three sources of self-effulgence, self-consciousness, to thee, the Supreme Person, to thee, home of all greatness, auspiciousness, goodness and mercy, pure being and pure witness, the basis of all the whole world, the master of all direction, of its director, to the Lord of Lakshmi, and you are the supreme consciousness bliss that shines in the heart of the Paramahamsas. The sacred feet with intense concentration derived from long practice of penance. Like this, they prayed. Then what happened? Okay, prayer is fine. We want to know what happened afterwards. Now, Shukamarshi says, okay, Bhagavan said, okay. Pritoham va surasrishta madhupasthana vidyaya atmaishcharya smritipam sam bhaktichaiva mayamayi. O leading celestials, I am pleased with you for expressing the truth about my nature through your hymn. From your hymn, people will get an idea of my attributes and prowess, and their mind will be filled with devotion for me. So, kim durabam mayi pride tathapi vipudarshabha mayi ekanda madirna nanya matto vanjati tattvavid. O great celestial, what is there difficult to attain if I am propitious? When a wholehearted devotee, a knower of truth, he will never desire nothing but me. Naveta kripanashreya atmano gunavastutrika tasyata nichchato tachet yachet yati sopi tatha vidha. One who is involved with the sense objects is pitiable because he does not understand his own real good. Those who long for petty objects and those who grant it are both to be pitied. So we seek small things. That's why Karpanya dosha Arjuna said, no. Anyway, Swayam Nishreyasam Vidwan Navakyat Jnana Karmahi Narati Rogino Patham Vanchatohi Vishakpapaha. One who knows that constitute the supreme good of man never induces the ignorant man to the path of desire-prompted karmas. Karma Gandhi is criticizing here Karma Gandhi. Like a good physician will never allow his patient to take unwholesome food, even if the patient likes to do it. So the example is beautiful. The doctor, if he is treating a patient, so that means what? We are all come here to this world as a patient. This world itself is a great hospital. And Bhagavan is the doctor. And he treats everyone according to the situation, their health condition. Same way, each one is treated differently. So, here it is, people who, those vidwans or scholars who direct people for performing rituals, they are like telling, the doctor telling the patient to take all useless food, junk food. Okay. Now, why are you telling this? Makhavanyadabhadram vo dadyanjamishisattamam vidyavrta tapassaram katram yachadamachiram. O Indra, approach the great Rishi Dadichi. Beg of him to give you his body, which has been fortified by meditation, vows and tapas. Sava adhigato dadyang chibhyam brahma nishkalam yadva ashvashiro nama tayoramaratam vyadha vekhade. This Dadij Rishi, because of his tapas, is an over of Brahman. He's a Brahmajnani. And also, is also called Ashwashiraha. Ashwashiras. Now that is a story, I don't know, you know the story. Ashwini Kumaras approached Dadij Rishi. They wanted to learn Brahma Vidya. And also they become equal to Devatas because they were not getting offering. Like other Devatas, Indra, Varuna, Agni, etc., they get offering in the Yajnashala, but Ashwini Devas were not getting because they were not like Devatas. So approach the teacher Rishi to give them Brahmajnana. But Indra, when he heard this, he said, whoever gave knowledge, Brahmajnanam to the Ashwini Dev Guru Kumaras, I will cut off his head. Now, it was a dilemma. The Indra come, suppose the Dadij start speaking, cut off the head, then he cannot speak, isn't it? Now this became a problem. So they told, the Dadij Rishi said, Ashwini Kumara, this is the problem. Indra is going to cut off my head. Now this Ashwini Kumara said, don't worry. We are doctors, we are surgeons also. So they cut off a horse head and then put it on what you call Dadij Rishi's head cut off and put it on the horse head cut off and put it on Dadij Rishi. So what happened? They threw that's all Ashwashira. Ashwashiras. Through the Ashwashiras, Dadij Rishi gave the knowledge. And then after knowledge is given, Ashwini Kumaras removed the head, walked back again, put it back. That is how it's called Ashwashira. So Bhagavan is reminding Devatas that this Dadij Rishi is the one who taught Ashwini Kumaras Brahma Vidya. There he is very fond of his Shishyas. Therefore, don't approach him directly. Go to Ashwini Devas and go through them. They will be able to. And this Maharshi is an expert in Atharvana Veda. Yushmabhyam yachitoschibhyam dharmatnyongani dasyati tatastairayudashreshto vishwakarma vinirmitaha yena vritrashiro harta matteja upabhringhitaha. He is expert in Atharvana Veda. Gave instruction. This Narayana Kavacham was given to him. Narayana Kavacha was given to Dadiji by me. Bhagavan Vishnu himself has given that to Dadiji. And then this Narayana Kavacha then again came to Toshta. Toshta gave it to Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa gave it to Indra. That is how the came. Now, that's what Bhagavan said, the 54th one. Vishmabhyam yajidoschibhyam dharmatnyongani dasyati. So if you approach him through Ashwini Kumaras, he will definitely give you what? His body. Means what? You are directly asking him to die. That is what it is. See how difficult it is. Think about it. Tasmin vinihate yuyam tejostray yuda sambadaha bhuya prapsata padram vo nahim santi satmatparan. With that weapon of thunderbolt, with my power, you will be able to cut off the head of Vritrasura. And when Vritrasura is gone, you will be able to recover all that is lost to you. Now, next chapter, Sri Shukovacha Indramevam Samadhisya Bhagavan Vishwabhavanaham Pashyata Manimeshanam Tatrevantarkade Harihi. Having given this Upadesha to Devendra, Bhagavan disappeared from the scene. Tatapi yachito dever rishiradharvano mahan modamana uvachetam prahasanniva bharata. Devas approached the great Rishi, Dadichi, and requested him as instructed. He was pleased and smilingly said, Api vrindarakam yuyam na janita sharirinam samsthayam yattva vidroho dussahachetanapaha. First the Rishi said, O celestials, are you not aware of the intensely paralyzing fear that human beings have for death? Don't you know that? Jijivishunam jivanam atma preshta idepsitaha ka utsahetatam datum vikshamanaya vishnave. Now jivas in whom love of life is natural cling to this dear body with passionate attachment is something that is instinctive. To that, Devata means what? He is discouraging them. Actually, the Rishi was testing them. That's what it is. Then, Deva Uchu. Kim natat tustajam brahman pumsam bhutanukampinam bhavapithanam mahatam punyashloketya karmanam. A person like you, Devata said, a person like you greatly reputed for holiness, for the nobility of your actions, and for your universal love, what is there too difficult to give away as gift? See, how to talk to people, you don't know. Charate na. You boost your ego, that's what is right. Dhanuswarthaparo loko naveda parasangatam yadi vedanaya cheta nedinahayadishwara. Men who are interested only in their own well-being, people who are selfish, never understand others' suffering. If they did, they would never beg in this way, as we are doing. And one who has the source and the inclination to make a gift would never refuse to oblige. So, the idea is what? We don't understand. We are ignorant people, we don't understand. Therefore, we ask this question. But you being compassionate towards the human being, you will understand, you will not hesitate. That is the idea. Means, the idea is what? You have achieved what is to be achieved with this body. You don't care whether a body exists or not. Now, what is sannyasa? Sannyasa's main thing is that this body is not me. I am Paramatma. This understanding is called sannyasa. So that's why in the Viraja Homam, the last ritual we do before taking sannyas, in the Viraja Homam, we do tarpanam to your own body. And you do the last, what you call, andeshti for you. That means what? You have debt to this body. That's the idea. Since you have no body consciousness, why don't you give it to us? For Loka Kalyanartham. That is the implication here. Now, Sri Shuko Vacha. Evam kritavyasito datyang adar arvanastanum pare bhagavati brahman atmanam sannayanjahau yatakshasu mano buddhit tatudvastha bandhavaha astita paramam yogam nadeham bhuvudegatam. Oh, sorry, before that, Rishi Ruvacha. Oh, I jumped. Sorry. 7th one. Dharmava shrotu kameta yuyam me pratyudahridaha eshava priyamatmanam tejantam sandhyajamyaham. I refuse your request at first, Rishi says. Dadiji Rishi said, I refuse your request first in order to hear from you what is dharma. I shall now give up for your sake this body, which one has to give up one day or the other. Anyway, one day it's going to fall down. So before that, let me give it to you if it is good for you. Yo dhruvenatmana natha na dharmam na yashappuman iheda bhutadayaya sasochasthavarerapi. So a person do not strive for fame and attainment of merit through the sacrifice of his impermanent body, out of one's own love of living beings. They are liable to be looked upon pity by others. Etavanavyyo dharma punyashloke rupasita yo bhuta shoka harshabhyam atma shojati hrishyati. Eternal path of virtue followed by men is feeling sorrow for the sorrows of others and joy for joys. Somebody's happiness should become your happiness. Somebody's sorrow become your sorrow. It is not that what somebody is driving, you enjoy. Venam anakku. You deserve it. Thoda kuch paap kiya hoga, like that, people say. No. Somebody is suffering, you should also feel sorrowful. And somebody's happiness, you feel happy also along with them. Like children, little children in the kindergarten, and one child cries, everybody cries. They don't know why they are crying. They cry the same way. We should feel that. Aho, dainyam aho kashtam parakyai shanabhangureihi yatropa kuryat arvarthair matyaha swajnadi vigrahai. Aho kashtam. It is a tragedy. It is indeed a pity that man fails to do good to his fellow being with this body, which is ever threatened with death and is bound to be food for dogs, and with his wealth, his children and other resources, which are transient and intrinsically worthless. As long as Paropakararthamidam shariram. Now resolving this, Dadiji Maharshi, sitting in meditation, withdrew himself from the body and merged with Paramatma. Then the Devatas, out of his body, the body was given to Vishwakarma, the celestial architect. Out of the bone, he made a great weapon called Vajrayutha, thunderbolt. Now, Vishwakarma made this. Vrto devaganai sarve gejendro paryashobhata stuyamano muniganai trailokyam harshayanniva. So, Vishwakarma made the thunderbolt weapon with the bones of the great Rishi, and Indra, endowed with the powerful power of the Lord, took it up, armed with it, and seated on the elephant Airavata, he showed amidst the celestial and rishis, expressing joy of all three worlds. Now, after that, what happened? Vritramabhyatravachedam asuranigayudabhaihi paryastamojasa rajan krudro rudra ivantakam. Like Rudra rushing at Antaka, the god of death, Indra now charged violently at Vritrasura, who was surrounded by his asuras. Now, the asuras' names are given here, where they faced the war. The war took place near Narmada Nadi in Treta Yuga, beginning of Treta Yuga. Not Satyuga, okay, Treta Yuga, beginning of Treta Yuga. Now Indra was supported by Marut, Rudras, Vasus, Adityas, Ashwini Devas, Pitris, Ribhus, Siddhas and Vishwe Devas. Army of Asuras got Namuchi, Shambara, Dimurtha, Rishabha, Ambara, Ayagreva, Viprachitti, Puloma, Mali, Sumali. Mali, Sumali is very famous, right? Ravana story. Now a big battle took place between them. Now what happened? Armed with this Vajrayuda and powered by Bhagavan's Tejas, Devatas became powerful. So they start attacking Asuras. And Asuras tried every weapon they have. All of them were destroyed by the Devatas. And the 27th verse it is said, Tanakshadan sustimato nishamya shastrastrapugai ratavritradataha drume dishirbhir vividadrisingaihi avichidam tatra surindra sainigan. Great fear seized the Asuras, the follower of Prithra, when they saw that not even a scratch was caused on the bodies of Devatas by all their weapons. When the weapons were destroyed, they started using the stones, hillocks, all that, the boulders, etc. But nothing happened to them. An example is given here. Sarve prayasa abhavan vimogaha krita krita devaganeshu daityaihi krishnaanukuleshu yatha mahatsu kshudre prayukta rusati rukshavachaha. Just like the vulgar and harsh word used by a silly man at high-souled spiritual personages, all attacks that the Asuras directed Devas recoiled, became ineffective. Beautiful example. Mahatmas, you keep on telling them bad words about them, some scandal you attach to them. Nothing will work. It all fare flat the same way. Te saprayasam vitatham nirikshya harava bhakta hatayut yuddha darpa palayanajir mukhe visarja padim manaste daduratta saraha. The hara avabhaktaha, haravabhaktaha, they have no devotion to Bhagavan. The ungodly Asuras who had no faith in Hari now found that all their previous strength was absorbed by their enemies. So they have no desire to fight. They lost interest in fight. They are ready to run away from the battlefield. But Vritrasura, Vritrosurantan Anugan, Manasvi prakavata preksha bhavava etat palayidam preksha balam namagnam mayena tivrena nihasya viraha. But Indra, Vritrasura said, all seeing his enemy, his people are running away. He tried to encourage them, saying that, hey, kalopapannam ruchiram sanasvinabhudacha vacham purusha praviraha he viprachitte namuche puroman mayanavachambarame shrunudhvam jadasya mityudhruva eva sarvadha pradikriya yasya na cheha klapta loko yashaschata tato yadishyamam ko nama martyam na vrinita yuktam. So he called, hey Viprachitti, Namunchi, Puloma, Maya, Anarva, Shambara, hear me. He said, death is sure for anyone who is born as a mortal. There is no remedy laid down for it in any text. So therefore, die for a good cause. That is the idea. How to die? You should know. Don't die like a, what you call, ant or animal, causeless, but die for some good cause. There are two types of death. One being the exit from the body with the prana controlled and the mind in equipoise concentrated on Brahman, Videha Mukti. The other, death in the field, battlefield. So, not even taking a foot back from the battlefield. Right? So this is the glorious death. Who is telling? Vritrasura is telling. Look at this. Now you can see the glory of Vritrasura. Tayevam shamsado dharma vajas patyurachedasa naivang grannan bhayantastra palayana paradrapa. But these frightened and dispirited asuras, they refused to be moved by the words of Vritrasura. Now, Vishiryamanam Prutanamasurim Asurashabha Kalanukule Tridashehi Kalyamanavamanathan Kalyamanamanathavad Drishtudapyata Samkrutya Indrashatru Amarshitaha Tanivarjayjata Rajan Narbhastraedam uvachaha. Now finding his army in complete disorder, fleeing leaderless under the attack of Devas, Vritrasura became desperate with grief and anger. And then what happened? He alone attacked Devatas. He said, he was addressing the Devatas, and he said, Kimcha uchcharider madhur davatbhi prishtado hadaihi nahavida vadashragdhyo nasvargya shuramaninam. If you are a Shuravira, if somebody is running away, you will not attack him. What is the use of attacking those Rakshasas who are running away from the battlefield? So because peet ko marte hai na, you cannot shoot at the back. That is not correct. That is not to make you a hero. Now he says, Yadiva pradhane shraddha saram va kshullaka hridi apre tishtata matram me nachet gramya sukhe spriha. O mean cowherds, dare to stand before me for a moment. If you really warlike and courageous, also your death is, consider that your death is predestined. Now this powerful Vritra, evam suraganan kruddho, vishayan vapusha ripun, venadat sumaha prano yenaloka vichetasaha, tena devagana sarve vritta vispodanena vai, nipartur muchida bhumau yadeva sinida hataha. That powerful Vritrasura thus frightened the Devas. What? His roar, that was enough. His roars frightened them and paralyzed them. It struck like a lightning, and the Devas fell down unconscious. Now, not only that, what Vritrasura did, like an elephant tramples upon the bodies, Vritrasura jumped and danced on the bodies of these Asura Devatas. Now, seeing this, Vilukyatam Vajradharotyamarshitaha Sashastrave Bhidravate Mahagadam Chichepatama patatim suduksaham jagrahava karena lilaya. Seeing Vritrasura thus attacking his forces, the engaged Indra threw his powerful mace at him. But Vritrasura caught it with his left hand as if in play, in utter contempt. Such a powerful mace he hit, but Asura took it with his left hand, threw it. Then what he did, Vritrasura, Sa Indrashatrukkupido Prishantaya Mahendravaham Gatayogra Vikramaha Jagana Kumbhastala Unnadan Mudhe Tatkarma Sarve Savapujayan Nrpa. Fierce and courageous as he was, Vritrasura struck the elephant of Indra, that is Airavata, on his forehead with his mace. That was a great feat. Everybody appreciated that. Then what happened? Airavato vrittagadabhibrishto vigurnito ndrikuli kulishahato yatha apasaratirnamukha mahendro sahendro munjannasrik saptadhanur prishartaha. When he hit with the mace, this Airavata, it seems it went back 7 feet. That was the force of Vritrasura's strike. And his face shattered, bleeding profusely like a mountain hit by lightning. But at the same time, look at Vritrasura's greatness. Nasannavahaya vishanna chetase prayunkta bhuyassa gatam mahatma indrovadasyanti karabhimarshavid tavyathakshatavaho vataste. That in Vritrasura, on seeing Indra discomforted and his mount disabled, he could have struck him. That is the right time to strike him, isn't it? But he did not. He did not strike him. That is the greatness of Vritrasura. Even though he was an asura, but still he followed dharma. But what Indra did, he had this nectar raining palm. So Indra's hand, he can invoke nectar, and he applied on the Airavata, he recovered. These are all magical, you can see in the movies. Then, Satam Nrupendrahava Kamyayaripam Vajrayudam Pradrihanam Vilokya Smaranjatat Karma Nrisham Samamsa Mahashokena Mohena Hasanjagata. Now, O King Vritrasura, on seeing Indra, the cruel-hearted enemy responsible for the murder of his brother Vishwarupa, standing ready for battle, and he addressed him and told him, like a mocking laughter. Vritravasa. Dishtya bhavan me samavastito ripur yo brahmaha guruha pradha cha dishtyanurodhyaha asattamattvaya machula nirbhinna drishang didachirat. It is indeed a piece of great good fortune that you, who are guilty of the slaughter of one so holy as my brother and a guru of yours too. See, one is Brahmahatya, another is Guruhatya. Both are there, see. It is a pity that you are standing before me in battle. I shall be freed from the debt I owe to my brother. And today, your stony heart is pierced with my trident. Yo yokna jasyatma vidho dvijade gurorapapasya cha dikshidasya vishwasya vishwapya sankhangena siram savrchat pashoriva karuna surgakamaha. Just as heaven-seeking ritualistic people how they kill a sacrificial animal, you practicing a confidence trick mercilessly cut off the head of my brother, who was a holy man, a teacher, a sinless person, and knower of Atman. Now, then he says, 18th verse, Atho hare me ulishena veera harta prapatyeva shiro yadiha tatranani bhuta balim vidhaya manasvinam padaya prapatsye. But Indra, however it is, I whose head happened to be chopped off with your thunderbolt weapon. Dhritarashtra news. Then I would thereby be freeing myself from the bondage of karma and attaining to the realm of heroes. After having offered my body as a food to the birds and the beasts. See, you will be doing a good thing for me. What? Killing me. I'll be freed from the bondage of this body. Now he is urging Indra to use the weapon. Why? See that. Suresha kasmanna hinoshi vajram purastite vairini mayyamogham ma samsayishtana gadeva vajram syanishpalam kripanadeva yacha. He says, O Indra, why do you hesitate to strike me? Who I am standing before you with your unfailing thunderbolt. Why are you not striking me? Doubt not that it will be ineffective, like the mace you used to strike me before. Now he says, this thunderbolt, Nanvesha vajjastava shakra tejasa harer dedijes tapasacha tejidaha teneva shatrum jahi vishnu yandrito yato harir vijayasri gunastataha. This thunderbolt weapon, O Indra, has been powered by the energy of Mahavishnu and the austerity of the Rishi Dadichi. Commissioned as you are by Mahavishnu himself, destroy me, your enemy, even now with that thunderbolt weapon. Why? Wherever Hari is, there victory follows. Now he says, Aham samadhaya manoyadaha sangarshanatta charanara Tuddhajrahang lolita gramya pasho gadim muneryapyapaditthalokaha. As my chosen deity Sankarshana. So that story will come later. The flashback of Vritrasura will come later. That time I tell you why Sankarshana Bhagavan was his Ishtadevata. So my chosen deity Sankarshana has commanded me. I shall hold my concentrated mind at his lotus feet with all the bonds of my body, that is prarabdha, cut asunder with your thunderbolt weapon when you destroy my body. I shall go the way of all saintly, contemplative munis. Then 24th verse he says, look at this. Aham hare tava padeka mula dasanudaso bhavidasmi bhuyah manasmare dasupader gunamste granidava karma karotu kayaha. What a beautiful prayer. O Lord, O Hari, may I be born in successive birth as the servant of thy servant, who had thee as their sole support in life. May my mind ever contemplate on the attributes pertaining to thee, the master of my life breath, and may my words be always devoted to the description of thy glories, and my body to thy service. So the walk Sing always your praise, body serve you physically. Nanakaprishtam na cha parameshtyam sarvabhaumam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhira punarbhavam va samanjasatva virahasya kamkshe. I do not aspire for the state of the Creator Brahma or for the sovereignty of Rasatala. We saw the description of Rasatala, Hatala and all that. Where in the 5th canto? Not remember. Down, 7 down. Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Rasatala seems to be a better place. That's why Mahabali went there. It is that if you enter there, a portion will be given to you. You drink that, you become healthy. And no death. Like that. Good facilities are there. Better than heaven, it seems. So he says, I don't want to be the king of Rasadala also. Then what do you want? I don't need yogic powers also. So Ashtasiddhi, that also I don't want. Even the state of freedom from samsara also I don't want. All these attainments are separate from you. Then I don't want. See, all these attainments, suppose I go to Rasadala, I will be away from you, then I don't want Rasadala. If I go to Brahmaloka, Brahmaji is away from Brahma Bhagavan, then I don't want. So anything that is keeping me away from you, I don't want that. Now this one is very beautiful, 26th verse. Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsatara kshudartha priyam priyaiva visham vishanna manoravindaksha didikshate tvam. What a beautiful verse. He says, O lotus-eyed one, I yearn for you and wait in eager expectation of thy blessed vision. How? Give example. How the little birds eagerly await their mother's return. And how the calves long for their mother's udder. And a faithful wife anxiously awaits the return of her long-separated husband. So does my mind, O lotus-eyed one, yearn for and wait in eager expectation of thy blessed vision. See, what devotion he has got. Mamottama sloga janeshu sakhyam samsara chakre brahmadasva karma bhihi tvan mayayatmatma jada gadaragehe sasakta chittasya nanatha bhuyad. To me, who am tossed about on this wheel of samsara, may there be opportunities of intimate relationship with the devotees of Bhagavan. And may I have nothing to do with those whose minds are bound by Yoga Maya to body, children, wife, etc. Let me not get. I have nothing to do with them. Let me have devotion to the feet of those devotees of Bhagavan. Now, oh, time, I got 10 minutes. We started 10 minutes late, so it's okay. I'll tell you briefly, trailer. Yeah.